Welcome to season 2 of Rabbit Holes with Aaron, where we haven't made any drastic changes, but we believe we get better with time. So enjoy the wide constellation of guests that I have on this show. Enjoy our conversations. Hopefully, you get some nuggets and you can learn and grow and become a better person. Thanks for listening. Hey, welcome to Rabbit Holes with Aaron. I'm Aaron. And shoot, we're back for a second season, back by popular demand, I guess. The people have spoken, and we're going to have good conversations. Today, as my guest, I have with me Aaron Green. He was one of my Marines a long time ago, and maybe a little bit still, but he's a close friend, a fellow rabbit hole explorer. You could find him on season 1. He's back again for more action. So, what did I miss, Aaron? What else you got for yourself?
For myself? No, I mean, you pretty much summed it up. My name's Aaron. I was in the Marine Corps. I do engineering things these days. Studying
Yeah,
school, trying to accomplish some goals, raising kids, taking
wow.
on life as it comes. That's really about
Wow.
it.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot. So, in my fever to get this started, I've been thinking about how to fine tune it. When you get season 2, you got to change some things a little bit, but not too much. So I think I wanted to start off with a question and see how it feels for you. You're my guinea pig, my guinea rabbit, I guess,
Like being a
in
guinea
this
pig.
situation. Okay,
Guinea
good,
rabbit. I
good.
see what you did there. It's nice. I like
What
it.
is So I come up with this question. What is something exciting happening for you right now?
School. Just going back to school and studying, getting an associate's degree and learning math. I really want to learn math. Need to know things. I need math to do it.
Okay. What level of math are you taking right now?
Only just college algebra. It's like a pre-calc class.
Oh yeah, that's an intense class all by itself. That's as
Yep.
far as I went down the math line, the
Yeah,
math
I
tradition.
love it. It's nice because the community college I'm going to goes all the way up to Calc 3, and they
Okay.
have various other programs as well. I think I don't know all the terms. We'll call it linear differentials and some other stuff.
You
But
know,
I'm excited to
it's
do that because I do need the math.
I can talk about math for about 0.005 seconds. No, I'm just kidding. I know a little bit more about it than that, but it's kind of like one of those languages that I know a little bit better than Spanish. So, like when it comes to math, I can like figure out my change for myself. I can go out and measure something, measure a room, figure out the area. You know, that's probably about it from geometry.
Mostly all you need to know. You don't need much in day-to-day life. Adding,
Now, hold
subtracting,
on.
multiplying, dividing, right? I mean, that's
When I
really
was in
about it.
high school, when I was in high school, they said I was going to need these skills the rest of my life.
They
They
totally
all
lied to you. For
they also
sure.
told me
They
to
lied to
stop,
you
drop, and
hard.
roll, and that was
They
going to
did.
be
I haven't
something.
had to do that yet, fortunately. I
I
have not
haven't
found
done that
myself on fire. I am thankful for that.
not one time, not even one time in 51, almost 52 years have I ever stopped, drop, and rolled. But I do have to say that like there's times I see things on fire and I think about stop, drop, and roll, and I'm like,
I
nope, don't
think
need it right
the
now.
next time that occurs, you should just do it for doing its sake.
I like that
Stop,
idea.
drop, and roll. I mean, I definitely have practiced stop, dropping, and rolling when I was in like kindergarten or first grade. You know, they really wanted to make sure that you knew what you were doing.
Well, and here's the thing. I see people on fire in the movies and I'm like, stop, drop and roll, stop, drop and roll. And they
They
don't.
never
And they're
do it.
like waving their arms around and they're like faces on fire. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's the perfect
You,
time. And no,
you
they
are
don't do
doing
it.
wrong. And I mean, that's like a public service announcement all at the same time too, right? Because I mean, you just enunciate stop, drop, and roll, and millions of people watch it, and now everybody knows.
That's
Because
like
if it's in
tap,
the
rack,
movies,
bang
it's
for
true.
Marines.
Tap, rack, bang. I haven't heard that in a hot minute. Tap,
But you
rack,
instantly
bang.
know what it is.
I do know what it means. Wham!
Yeah.
Pew,
For
pew.
all of my listeners that may not know their way around the M16, tap, rank, bang is the way to fire your weapon again after it's jammed. You tap on your forward assist. If that doesn't work, you rack back the handle and clear the round, and then bang, you
Yeah.
shoot again. You aim in and fire. Anyway, these fun monikers, that's a
Tap,
whole other
rack,
rabbit
bang.
hole in itself. If
It
we
is,
think
man. I mean, the
in this
acronyms of the
episode,
Marine Corps.
if we think of any cool monikers, we just get to say them in this episode, at least. That's like
Yeah, okay.
oxymoron. If I ever going through life think of an oxymoron, I instantly say it out loud, especially when I realize a new one, like military intelligence so I celebrate that discovery of a new, at least to me, oxymoron, where you got two words together and they mean the opposite thing, but somehow they're together. But anyway, so we could do that like monikers, any monikers we happen to think of with respect for the other people, the other person talking, we raise our hand or something and say, I got another moniker. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but I think it could be fun if it works. So far
Well,
we've got stop, drop, and roll, tap, rack, bang.
stop, tap, rack, bang. I don't have any fun ones right off the top of my head. Teamwork
Yeah,
makes
me
the dream
neither.
work. Teamwork makes the dream work. That's a good one.
The ones that rhyme are the
Stand
best.
by that one.
I've made up some new ones. Oh my
Have you
gosh, I
now?
set myself up. I've made up so many new ones while we were on the road. Like one is leave more to explore.
I like that one.
Leave more to
I don't know. I'm
explore.
pretty, I'm pretty, I'm pretty, pretty, pretty greedy when I'm in a place, though, I suppose. If it's a new place, I kind of want to get in as much as I can.
Well,
And I
yeah.
mean,
I
there'll
mean,
always be more to explore afterwards.
yeah, there will always. But for us, it's kind of like we can relax. We can take it at our pace. We don't have to see it all right now. We may be at, a big state park that everybody suggested to us. And if we spend 30 minutes walking around it sometimes, we're like, we're tired, we're hungry, let's go back home, leave more to explore kind of thing. And it sets us free. I came up with that, but the thing is, I come up with stuff like that sometimes, and it just floats out into the universe, just like a mist. It slowly fades as it moves away from my mouth, I guess. But then sometimes Jill picks up on it, and then I'll hear her. She'll start saying it, and we're like, well, it's 5 o'clock. The sun's going down. It's getting cold here. Jill's like, leave more to explore, and I'm like, yeah, leave more to
Yeah,
explore. You're right, and I
exactly.
came up with it. Yeah, I guess that's a funny topic because I do have one more, and I'm not going to bore you, everybody, and the listeners, and you, Aaron, with like a long list of 10, but I've got one more that
What do you
Jill
got?
holds in high regard, and it is sometimes to grow, you got to go, which Jill noticed is absolutely reversible. It means something different, but it's still true. Sometimes to grow, you got to go. And so there you go. So it applies to all humanity at any given moment. Thank you. Yes, everybody stop applauding. I don't have any applause buttons or anything.
Nobel Prize worthy right there, buddy.
Oh, leave,
Nobel
yeah.
Peace Prize.
Well, I've noticed that trend. Anyway, I don't want to get talking to it too much, but just little rhyming monikers. So let's just throw that and let the back of our brains work on it. And like, let's explore the math a little bit more. For you, it's something exciting that's happening is math. That's exciting for me that you're that excited about math.
Um,
So what do you want to
So
do
it's
with
not
it?
entirely exciting yet because I don't know as much as I would like to.
Hmm.
But I was watching a show the other day called Number File, and they do elaborate on how the sum of all positive whole numbers to infinity equals -1/12. I couldn't explain it to
Hmm.
you very well, but I did find that interesting. It's really counterintuitive.
Yeah, that would take me a little bit to unpack, actually.
It's really, when you watch them play out the steps that you have to do, I mean, there's a little bit
Yeah.
of ninja-y in there, but yeah, they actually use it to for things in string theory. I can't elaborate really much on that at all. I don't know exactly where they use it, but it is a way to get rid of the infinities that happen in there, wherever there is in it, right?
Yeah.
And
I
just,
just had a
little
thought.
little stuff.
Yeah, if it gives you hope, if it like, wow, I feel like I know how things work a little bit more. That's always a good feeling. I mean, that's
Yeah,
magic.
absolutely. In physics, I like understanding how things work. Math's just
And
more alluring because I need it to hopefully resolve my problem with gravity.
mm,
Yeah.
well, that sounds interesting. I'm going to check back on that in a second. When I think of math, I also think of like if you get high enough in the math framework, in the math, in learning math, whatever the math, I'm thinking of a word, I can't remember it. The math school of math. If you get far enough in there, you find out that it's all theory. You know, it's
Everything's
all
in theory.
theory for as much as many times they hit you with the ruler or woke you up in math class or gave you an F on homework. I'm speaking from personal experience here. It's theory. You know, I remember, and I think really quickly, and then I want you to talk about it some more too. Like when I think about the movie Lucy, you know, with Scarlett Johansson,
Oh yeah, it's a
and
great movie.
she's like, one is never one. And I was like, that blew my mind away. I was like, one is oversimplifying something. That's what I got from the movie. And then I looked at myself and I'm like, well, I'm one person. And I'm like, well, yeah, but I'm made up of millions and billions of tiny little parts that fit together perfectly or held together by forces I don't understand. Okay, maybe one is a variable that stands for something, but like, yeah, it just doesn't seem to fully encapsulate what it's supposed to. So that was a thought. We'll go anywhere with that, but that was the thought I had on math.
I don't remember the one is never alone. What was it that you said? I mean, it makes sense to me to your point, Evan, however many
One is
trillions
never
of,
really yeah, exactly. One is
yeah,
never really one. That's what she said.
right. Yeah, I think there's some 50 trillion cells in a body and then like some 8 or 27 octillion atoms or some ridiculously high number. It's just unfathomable to think about how many things actually go into us operating in the day-to-day life.
Yeah, yeah.
It is a fascinating topic for me.
And I think I'm gonna work on answering. I mean, there's no fill in the blank answer for that kind of question, but I'm gonna start working on it up here, and I'm thinking maybe they did it. They simplified things like that. Whoever they were in the past, so that we could hold a lot of stuff up here. Like, because the more you make something simple, the easier it is to understand, but also the easier it is to explain.
Mhm.
And so, like, if you simplify the universe called Aaron of cells floating here, bound together in an awesome shirt with crazy hair, and all the things that are me, my personality, my identity, but you're just calling me one thing. Like, oh, that's Aaron over there. Like, it makes it easy to fit me on a bus, but it
Mhm.
doesn't make it easy to understand me at all. You don't even scratch the surface by saying I'm one person, you know, to some extent. So,
Yeah, no, that's relatable within my framework of understanding myself, I suppose, like who am I? It's a solid question.
Yeah.
I am a lot of things, as with every other person, so
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of moving parts.
hmm
The doctors say they know the moving parts and no, these organs are over here and this is how the brain works. And then it does something they didn't expect. And they're like, well, I guess we have to change the textbooks. The brain is
right, yeah,
plastic,
it's that.
whatever.
Yeah, we're all over the place with understanding the human body. I mean, we got a pretty good idea. We've extended our lifespan quite a few years since medieval times, so we're doing something right, but still don't have it completely narrowed down yet, nailed down. Practicing medicine. It's an important distinguishment.
I think that is how they say it, but I don't think that's how they think about it.
No, they think they just know, I would assume.
I mean,
This
that's
is the
how they
reason.
think about it on the TV shows in emergency
Well,
rooms and
yeah.
hospitals. But in real life, it's like, oh, you've got this. Here's the medicine. Which pharmacy do you want it at? Good to go.
hmm
It's not like, well, let's understand the intricacies of how this virus interacted with your body. No, it's like, here's the antibiotic that fits. Go take it, get better, leave my office. Next.
Yeah, you do
Maybe
seem a
that's the
little bit
level I'm at
dismissive.
right now.
Yeah, well,
So,
I think a lot of people notice that too. I do hear frustration about being rushed into an office. You have an appointment set for, time X, and then they want you to show up at some amount of time prior, and then you get there at the time you're supposed to prior, and then you end up waiting past the time your appointment's supposed to be, or they rush you back to the room to make you at least feel like you got back when you were supposed to, but then you just sit and wait in the room, till the doctor comes in. And then historically, at least for myself, you're in and out of the room pretty quick. It's not much time's given to treat the person instead of the symptoms, I suppose, on occasion.
yeah,
Rush you
yeah,
through, do exactly what you said. Here's some medicine. Have a good day.
yeah. It's
Follow
like
up if you
corporate.
need to.
Yeah, it's like corporate medicine or something. It's like
Yeah.
quick down and dirty medicine to get us paid for what we do, but also to get you better as quick as possible. Well,
Hopefully that's the plan anyways.
yeah, that's the plan, and that's what they're trying to do. And it's a big monster anyway, and math won't explain that either. But I'm thinking there are other options out there too. There's, natural medicine, homeopathic kind of stuff. We just started seeing a homeopathic doctor, and yeah, they are trying to get to the root of it. But generally, it'll surprise you. The root of it is usually your own biome. Yeah, we talked about that. The infinite,
hmm
like, cells, atoms, solutions, and all the stuff inside this human body. And a lot of it rotates out from having a healthy biome, like in your gut, your digestive tract, and that straightens a lot of stuff out. So they start troubleshooting there, but they are actually trying to get to the root of the problem so far, the few that I have experienced. So there's hope, and there's people trying to do it the right way and trying to do the right thing and trying to help other people.
hmm
And it's amazingly profitable, and it's amazingly helpful as well. Like, Joe came back feeling like $1 million after talking to the neuropathic doctor and what he figured out of what was going on for her and gave her some actual answers. Her body gave the answers. I don't want to go into too much detail, and I don't want to like too strongly support anything, but yeah, that was interesting, and it's a different kind of way to go about, troubleshooting our universe. Hey, I'm a universe of cells, troubleshoot me. Like, there's probably just one off somewhere in there causing problems for everybody else, just like in the Marine Corps, that 10%.
10% is brutal. 10% is brutal.
It's a big
Unfortunately, it
number.
dictates a lot of the rest of things.
Yeah. It's why the
Some
safety
sort of
brief on Friday is 2 hours long.
sobriety. I don't miss them.
Do you remember any particularly horrible safety briefs? Oh, there's some more monikers.
Horrible safety briefs. So I remember at the start of like the summer season, spring season, whatever it was, we used
Right.
to have like a big safety stand down where it would be
Oh,
like
yeah.
all day. Some portion of, Marines would be going in the morning and then some portion would be in the afternoon. And then you had to cycle through like 5 or 6 topics and it was just so boring. I mean,
Suicide prevention,
yeah,
STDs,
boater
drinking and
safety,
driving.
water safety, grill safety, sex safety, safety this and safety that, weapons safety, drinking responsibly, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Just constant repeat every Friday. And then, like I said, usually the one big one at the start of the spring, summer season, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never sitting through them or having to teach during them, repetitive and it's never ending.
Yeah, they sold a lot of snacks that week or whatever that day. We
Yeah.
all went to the PX, picked up like 3 or 4 different bags of snacks,
Yeah.
and just go camp out. You just had your spot. And if people
Get your
slept, you didn't
rippets.
even bother waking them up anymore. Just like, hey, go ahead and
Yeah.
sleep, sir. I got it. I'll pay attention. I'll sign your name or whatever.
Take notes
People are
for you.
going to, exactly. Everybody knew it by heart already. Like, we were
Yeah.
all like trained suicide counselors or whatever. Well, it's this what step one. If you notice this, then that's what you do. And I mean, that training helped me save a life from suicide one time. And
Yeah,
that's just
twice
that's
for me.
oh yeah, you had that
Yeah,
experience
yeah.
too?
Yeah, definitely. I had 2 Marines reach out to me while I was in the service. I had a tribute to their alivedness today from just being there for them, an ear to listen to or vent to or, you know,
Yeah,
yeah, no,
save some life. Well, I guess
do
we
what you
see
can.
we already justified the training. If it saved 2 lives, it was worth it.
Exactly.
Boredom
Yeah, I
saves lives.
completely
I don't know
agree.
if I'm going to go that far. But there was a lot of monikers in the safety brief I thought of, like if you drink, don't drive. If you have sex, wrap that rascal. I mean, they had all
Yeah.
kinds of different things like that. I don't
Wrap it
remember
before
them
you tap it.
rhyming. Wrap it before
Wrap
you
it
tap.
before
There
you
you
tap
go.
it. Yeah, that one rhymes.
If you don't know what
That was a
that means,
favorite
that's
one.
okay.
Yeah. Every now and again, you'd get the one froggy CO and be like, do it twice if you're unsure or something.
Yeah. Yeah, they had their things. I mean, I can remember safety briefs
Mhm.
where it was like, do not drive your outdoor motorcycle over concrete, pipes. And I was like, where did that come from? And then sure enough, there's a
Someone did
Lance
it.
Corporal that broke his shoulder or something, became non-deployable, and so it joined a safety brief. You'd hear some interesting stuff, and like somebody did that, and you'd be
Someone
like,
did it. Yeah.
yeah.
That's
I
like the
mean,
warning labels on everything these days.
yeah.
Like the Subway wrapper has do not eat wrapper on it or non-edible. I forget what it is that's on the wrapper. Coffee cup
Mm,
saying caution hot. Signs do not feed the bears. You know,
yeah. Yeah.
they should definitely probably remove a few of those signs
Well, and they wonder,
in the
and
herd.
I've seen a lot of information on Gen X, right? And I am Gen X. And every time I watch it, I'm like, that's right. That's exactly how Gen X are, because we are the ones that survived not having all the ones that didn't read the warning label or didn't have any common sense, they died in childhood. And we're the Gen X that survived childhood, where it's like, and you've heard it all before. Everybody's probably heard it all before. Come back inside when the lights go off, and you better be here because
Yeah,
that's supper time. You miss supper, you don't eat, and it's like, everything was kind of attached to your survival. Like, hey, we want to help you survive, but if you don't, sorry. And that's your parents talking to you. Like, we're going to do everything we can
Yeah.
to help you survive, but if you don't, I guess we'll have to
It's
have
on
more
you.
kids. And it's sad. It's not like, we better make sure you got pillows everywhere you go, just in case you need to take a nap,
Right.
or anything like that. It was, we were prepared well for the Marine Corps. Gen X was. And, I didn't even know. Well, anyway, I don't want to go on a rant about being a Gen X, but yeah, there was some survivability, and so I never did anything stupid in the Marine Corps. Never got injured anyway. Never drank too much. I guess I'm kind of squeaky clean in that way. But also, guess what? I'm alive, and I'm almost
Hmm.
52 years old, and I'm a happy person. You know,
So win.
I call it a win. I'm just going to put a
Yeah,
one
definitely.
in the
Right.
win column.
One
Whatever
me.
infinite possibilities, or maybe I should put negative 112. I don't know. I mean,
There you
maybe, I don't
go.
know, because it's
Exactly.
like almost infinity, and I want to solve infinity there. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's what's
Bad, bad.
exciting for you right now is school. What else are
Yeah.
you learning?
School. Myth, magic, and religion. That one's fun.
Ooh, is
That's an
that a
anthropology
class?
class. Yeah, that's an anthropology class. About 3 weeks into that one. We're learning
Well,
about
that
rituals and
almost,
mythology and symbolism. Those are the three
mm,
subjects we've covered so far. I believe later on it'll dive into more specific cultures like Wiccans. And, it's supposed to cover magic and sorcery and things of this nature. Anthropology of various different religions, Christianity, Judaism, Taoism, things of that nature. So be pretty excited to see how that class pans out. I always like learning
yeah,
about human origins and how we come to believe the things we do as societies and cultures. So
yeah. Understand how people work, and understand how we work as individuals.
hmm yeah, as an
We got to bring
organism,
that home.
I like to look at it that way.
As a universe, as a galaxy, as a one.
As an organism, as a whole. There you go.
Hmm.
It's a pretty good one. I
Yeah.
like that one.
Most of the time, I think being social is almost kind of magical. Like, there's some
I would
things
agree.
that I feel connected to when I connect with other people, whether it's playing board games or whether it's talking or whether it's podcasting and we're talking to each other here or wherever it is. It's like when there's another person involved, suddenly somehow it becomes special. It starts
Certainly
to
less
feel
boring,
magical. Yeah.
less
I can only
lonely,
imagine
I
what it would be
suppose,
like talking to the
for some
podcast
people.
myself. Like I have to come up with my own
It depends on
jokes.
how many voices you have in your head. I mean, it could be
Hmm.
pretty engaging.
Well, we're not going to put a number on that right now.
Yeah, yeah,
I
agreed.
mean, if I bother to count, but they're all good voices. They're getting along fine.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Don't want a calamity going on up there.
Unity is also an amazing superpower. Like, I think that's one of the
And
main superpowers that superheroes have is when they're able to do it, when they're able to work together as a team. That's like a superpower, which is why we have a moniker for that.
teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Right on cue. You brought that right
You
in at
are
the right time.
welcome. I did. I do what I can.
Well, and I don't know. Maybe we'll have some younger listeners that may not have heard any of these monikers before, and is like they're gonna hear them and they're gonna pierce like an arrow stuck in their brain, and they're gonna be like scratching at it trying to get it out, and it's in there forever now. Sorry, teamwork makes the dream work.
Good earworm. It's good earworm, man.
Hmm. Yeah. Leave more to explore.
I do like to leave more to explore. I
Okay.
do like
What do you
that
like
one.
about it?
I do like it. I don't know. It's catchy. Leave more to explore. Kind of gives me a sense of like, there's always more that you can do, you know?
Yeah.
Or would it be like, don't worry. we can do this again. There's another day.
Yeah.
There's more time. When I said don't worry, the next sentence that came to mind was be happy. So, I
There
mean,
you go.
there's the moniker
Don't
for you.
worry. Be happy. Do, 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 do. Okay,
Good
I'm writing
song.
that one down. I'm gonna work on a moniker list. It's just a word games like that have always drawn me. You know, the oxymoron game, I call it, and I play it with myself primarily. But
Hmm.
occasionally, I will say it's someone else, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's good. Yeah, military intelligence. I hadn't heard that one before," or whatever. And you find them everywhere. There's just words that are opposites thrown together all throughout the wonderfully pungent English language.
Jumbo shrimp. Gotta bring it back to some Forrest Gump.
There you go, jumbo shrimp. That's an
Yeah.
oxymoron.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're learning in class and you're enjoying your math. Well, I guess what's exciting for me today? Well, I just got some more mugs out of the kiln the other day, and they're all kinds of beautiful and glorious. Here's one right now. My wife has adopted one.
Oh, look at that.
I created it.
It gives me an Arizona feel or like a sunset feel or something
I
along
was
them
going
lines.
for a sunset. I was going for a
Yeah.
sunset, like a dark
Nailed it.
sunset. Yeah, my wife said that too. So I guess I did nail it. Now I've heard it from two people. That
Yeah.
looks like a sunset.
There you go.
But yeah, she's got rid of her alpaca mug and now she's using that one for now, trying it out, test driving it. So that's fun. And then this podcasting starting back up again has been fun. I will tell you that like the most exciting, technologically advanced, like superhero power has I've managed to kind of touch it and learn something from it. And that is learning to identify the small, boring, hard things in life and learning to set
Yeah.
aside time and focusing attention on them. That'll change. That changes everything. And so I did that the other day on Saturday where I was like, well, do I want to do the podcast for a second season or not? It's time to make a decision. And so I texted a lot of people and I basically weighed what I would do based on how many responses I got. And I got an overwhelming response, and I'm like, well, I guess we're doing it. Oh, wait,
Good.
I'm going to have to create stickers. Well, that's boring. Oh, wait, I'm going to have to figure out some kind of Google form. That's boring. And, I had a whole list, a staggering list of boring little things that I was not in the least excited about doing.
Hmm.
And then I started to like, well, I'm already sitting here at my computer. Let's knock these out. And I was surprised. Those boring little, I'm going to call them baby steps. Oh, that leads me to another moniker. I've got a few monikers about baby steps, you know, and I'm going to try to remember them right now. And I can't remember them. I'm going to write them down.
You
I'm going to
got it.
write
You
baby
got it.
steps down and I'm going to let
Let's
my brain
revisit
work
it.
on that. Like these small and boring is the most important part because Aaron doesn't go where boring lives. Aaron doesn't even go there. I see it on the horizon and I go the other direction. I never want to be sitting here with boring, stupid, busy work to do. And I'm sorry I called it stupid. It's because it is, if you can do it, if you can find a way to trick your brain with rewards or behaviorism or food or whatever you got to do to
Uh-huh.
get yourself to do the boring small things, your future self will thank you every day for the rest of your life. Literally be like, hey, I know what you did yesterday. You sat down, knocked
Really
out three more
appreciate that.
coffee mugs. Do what?
Really appreciate what you did yesterday for me.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you so much. And you just kind of float. Like when you do, at least this is my experience. When I do, and I only have a few occurrences in my entire life, and Marine Corps probably made me do this more than anybody else, of boring small little steps that when I put them on a to-do list with a box by them, somehow it transforms into, something I can start taking a look at and knocking out. But if they're just like, this would be a nice thing to do, that's boring. Well, I will never do that then. And I have a long list of those things. So I knocked out a few of them and I'm still flying high. I'm just like, feels great. Remember what you did yesterday? I'm like, yeah, that was pretty good. Let's give you a fist bump.
Hmm.
Give myself
Yeah,
a
there you
fist
go.
bump.
Best
And,
fist bump is the big Hero 6 fist bump with Baymax.
oh, is it? Okay.
Ba da la da la.
Oh, I remember the baby steps moniker. Those
Oh
baby
well, yeah.
steps add up. Those baby steps add up. It doesn't rhyme, but it's so true. And it always catches you
Hmm.
by surprise every time. And I had this idea that I'm going to share with you and my listeners, the rest of the listeners too, because I thought it was such a great idea. It was like, but it's crazy. I was like, I'm going to put at least an hour on the calendar for this week, and I'm going to entitle that time to work on the things I don't want to do, or to put in parentheses, to work on the things that I find boring, right? And I'm going to try and do that. And then when that time comes up, I'm going to be like, I knew it was coming, set a timer. And then I'm going to go into it and I'm going to hate it. And then when you take your first little baby step into it, you're like, well, this isn't that bad. I got keyboard out, I got computer set up, or whatever you got to do. But it's like the momentum to start with those things is non-existent. It's like you got to invent it. Like whether I'm doing a lot of things all at once right now. I'm writing a novel, which is the thing I hate the most. It's the most boring thing I've ever tried to do in my entire life. And that's why there's only 4 chapters right now, 5 chapters maybe right now, which still a success, still imminent victory. But it's like, that's the thing that I'm secretly talking about when it's the thing I do not want to do that I've got to put on the calendar. But there's other little things like making more mugs to sell at the market. Like I make them pretty much generally the same shape, the same way, and I sit there and I just pinch them while I'm watching a movie or TV show. And if you looked at me, it would be boring to watch. But somehow I found a way to make myself. I set up the table, I set everything up, I get something on there because I'm in an RV, so I don't have a lot of space. But and then I get my pottery stuff out, and then it's on, and then I put it all away when I'm done. So I've found a way. I navigated successfully some of those boring baby steps and found a way to get myself to do something that is pretty boring but productive. And so I'm looking to try and channel some of that ability. Willpower is the word you've used a few times in the past, to
Hmm.
get some willpower for these other things that I really would like to get done. And so, what do you think about that? You've been very patient.
I have. No, I mean, I like the idea of baby steps. I mean, I struggle with doing the little things, right? I don't know if boring would be a right word, right? I mean, I can't speak to your experience, but you seem to enjoy making cups and doing your activities and you enjoy writing. So I don't think it's so much boring as just constants, right? Like it's recurring, um, frequently, and it's like having a routine or a schedule or something. And that's probably what you were alluding to when you were talking about, putting it on the calendar, right? Kind of setting a routine for you to hit the little things the little micro steps or baby
Yeah,
steps that you would take throughout the course of the day to partition your time off to kind of streamline your life in the future. You just take the 15, 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour for tasks that you have going on. And you just do that every day, a little bit every day. And, they all add up to the end and it just streamlines future use life
yeah.
better, quicker, and then you can sit
Mm,
there later and be like, thank you very much, give yourself a
yeah.
hug, pat on the back, gold star, whatever it is that you like.
And you're exactly right. And I appreciate you bringing that up. That's a very valid point. That there are parts, let's use pottery as an example. There are parts of pottery that I absolutely enjoy, that I'm just like a little kid clapping my hands. on Christmas
Hmm.
morning. And that's opening the kiln, pulling the new pottery out. The glaze has been done firing. I get to look at it for the first time and see what it's going to be. And that's the exciting part. But if I don't do the boring part, obviously, of making the cups, so you're right, I had to kind of
Yeah.
create a ritual around it. Like if I'm sitting here at home and I'm just watching TV, I can make 3 cups right here. I can set the table up pretty quick. I can set all the things up, and I
Yeah.
can do at least a couple. And every time now, so far, I've made 3. And then do that for 3 or 4 days, and I have a shelf of mugs. And I
Yeah.
get to continue to enjoy the final stage, which is, wow, look at these cups and how they turned out and how colorful, and hear other people look at them and say, "Ooh, I like that cup," or have Jill go through and choose a cup that she likes. That's the biggest compliment for me. Or sell it at a craft store, and somebody's like, "I've been looking for this coffee cup my whole life," you know.
Right.
And I check back, and I no, and I'm serious though, because I've checked back in with some customers that I run into in other areas of my life, and they're like, "I use that coffee cup every morning. It's like a sunrise for me," or
Gotta be nice to
whatever.
hear, you know?
Yeah, and I love the feedback. I love the beauty of the colors and for the creation process to be done. And I love to sell them and talk to people while I do it, but I don't necessarily love the making of them, especially,
Yeah.
and so I've had to find my way to make myself consistently do those baby step parts. And they seem so insignificant.
Like the setup and tear down portions of it.
Yeah. That's the hardest part
Yeah.
for me in everything. Like, I'm sitting in a chair and I'm like, okay, so I need to go in the other room. I mean, I need to set this stuff up. It feels like I'm the mythical feature, epic something, pushing the boulder up the hill just to have it roll back down again. I'm just like trying to push the boulder up the hill, like, come on, get up out of this
Right.
chair, go grab the stuff and set it up. I don't want to. Go ahead. I'm pushing myself up the hill of the boulder.
Hmm.
So I've got to figure that out for like writing a novel. But I feel confident that I'll be able to figure that out eventually at the right time. So in 10 years. No,
Oh, I set a goal of 10 years for writing a book just because the stuff that I want to write down or think about, I kind of figured it would take some time to happen, between research, reading, and looking things up. It just seemed that
yeah,
10 years would be
I
an
figured it would
appropriate
take some
amount of
time
time.
too. Well, now that I'm getting into it, you have to do the research if you're going to do any kind of writing.
Technical difficulties.
You have to do
Can't
the
hear you.
research, and if you're going to do it well, and there's so many things to research, everything I don't know. There's a lot of things I do know, but yeah, I had to sit down, let's just say there's Vikings in there. So I had to sit down. I got a book on Vikings that's nonfiction to read, to learn more about it. I started watching a show on Vikings.
Not sure how this
I
works.
decided to travel the world to
I don't know
places
where
where
you went.
Vikings were. I mean, if you're really going to do it right, you have to go to the location. You have to do the research. You have to lay eyes on and feet on that area and try it out. Well, thanks, Aaron, for joining me today. I'm really grateful that you made the time and shared your input, and really interested in hearing your journey of love of math and learning, and so exciting all the things that are happening right now in your life. So thank you so much for tuning in, and to all my listeners. And I hope that you have a great day. And man, I've got great things in store. I'm really excited about the guests I've got lined up for you guys.